Hello everybody, and today we're going to do a tactical video about the normal destroyers. Before the FAQ, these were undoubtedly the best unit we had in the codex by far. Because of the FAQ, turn 1, if you want to put these guys in deep strike, you can deep strike them in your own deployment area, like so. So depending on your strategy, you might want to run 2 units of these or 1. I would never recommend 3 anymore, simply because they're so expensive and they can't be where they need to be until turn 2. So if you have 3 of these, that's 900 points in your army in reserve, and you can't really do anything until turn 2. So there's a good chance your opponent can do a lot of damage to you before you have your second turn. Okay, so basically now you have 3 ways to use these. One way is reserves for Nefric and put them in your deployment area turn 1, just so you don't get blown off the board. Second option is hide them in a building and be a different dynasty. And the third option, keep them in reserve and use them turn 2 and drop them in where they need to be. Okay, the best dynasties for these, I would recommend Sautek, because they are absolutely amazing to get the +1 to hit stratagem off. Use your extermination protocols on these, shoot a knight, damage it, and then use your +1 to hit so the rest of your army can hit on 2s. Very, very good for that. If you do decide to take 2 units of destroyers, you need to make sure that they're on the board turn 1 doing damage. Because there's 600 points there that are not doing anything. You cannot have 600 points in reserves doing nothing for 2 turns. And if you go second, there's a good chance you'll be tabled by then. You need their firepower on the board turn 1. So depending on what terrain you got, if you have bad terrain and you can't get out line of sight, put them in reserves, deep strike them in your zone turn 1 and shoot wherever the hell you can reach. Otherwise, start them in a building out line of sight. And because they are such big bases, they're very hard to hide. This is another reason why you don't want to take 3 units, because they're just so big. 2 is pushing it. I would normally just use the 1, but you could get away with 2. So these are line of sight there. These will be in here. Like so. Nice and safe. But this is where some cool tricks come in now, right? If you run a crypt deck, just with a Chromatorion, that's Nefric, you automatically get 6 in your advance rolls. So basically he has an 11-inch movement. So you can keep up with these. These can move out then to get in range of their target, like you want to kill the Hellblasters or a Carnifex or a Knight. The other guys can come out. And because this guy basically has fly now, -1 to hit, who cares? You just got bang, 11 inches. Up and down buildings, no problem. 5 up invuln plus reanimation. Perfect. So that's one way to keep these guys alive, is run them in Nefric and take a 5+ crypt deck with them. So you got 11-inch movement. You pace yourself just by getting that 5+ invuln. Because these are your opponent's #1 target. They will kill these if they know what they're doing. Once these are down, you're pretty screwed. Okay, another good thing I would recommend, if you do run destroyers, is also run some Tomb Blades with them. The reason why I pick Tomb Blades over any other unit is because they are -1 to hit, and they do a lot of damage in Overwatch. Of course the Overwatch is completely random, okay? So you don't want to rely on Overwatch to kill units. But it's an emergency defense, because you can move up the board as a blob of death. Make sure every Tomb Blade's in range of this, but make sure these are the same dynasty as the crypt deck, okay? So you move them up as a blob. I'll just do this really quickly on camera. Like so. And you can't get charged then. So you have to shoot these Tomb Blades out of the way, and then charge these, or shoot these and then maybe charge the Tomb Blades, which you don't want to do. So this is a very good combination, but it's extremely expensive. That's over 1,000 points there. The 600 for destroyers, 333 for these, and I think he's, I can't remember how much crypt deck is, like 100 odd. Okay. Very expensive blob of death, but it hits really, really hard. This is a good combo if you don't run any infantry, because this can deal with most things, and then you can put your other 1,000 odd points into anti-tank, or pure anti-horde, whatever you want. But I personally now, thanks to the FAQ, I would just stick with the 1 unit of destroyers, keep them in reserve, or stop them out of line of sight and just go and do their thing and then die. I personally don't like destroyers anymore thanks to the FAQ. I'm having more success with 2 units of Tomb Blades and some long range support than destroyers. That's just me personally, but everyone's free to use their own thing. And just don't forget this guy is an amazing guy in Nethrek. Another good tip for you: do not run a destroyer lord. For the same reason the Cryptek can move 11 inches, so can this guy. He has a better aura than the destroyer lord, but you can also have the option to keep him back, buff your heavy destroyers, your Tesla Immortals, anything that needs to do damage in combat. Rerolling ones works in combat and shooting with this guy, and it's just a much better choice than a destroyer lord. So 11 inches, these guys keep up. Nice shield in front, a ball of death, 1000 odd points then, I'll say 800, 900 points shooting long range. You can use your Doomsday arcs or whatever. Just a good combo. There's not many ways to use these guys, and you cannot hide cover to cover going up the board because they're so freaking big. The bases are like that big. Like so. See? You try and hide 12 of them, it's not going to happen. You want to send them out, do as much damage as you possibly can, take the brunt of your opponent's firepower, and then follow up next turn wherever's left. But it's very important you hide these out of line of sight or have them in reserves. If you can hide them out of line of sight, South Tech's a better option because you can use that +1 to hit stratagem for your entire army. But these guys can't get the 11-inch movement. So you have to use the Flying Cryptek and just drop the scale together. I wouldn't take this guy with destroyers because the stratagem is better. So he's basically buffing 1 unit. That's just an option if you wanted to. So don't use a destroy lord, use a lord. So I hope this video helps you out. So I'll catch you all again in the next video.